BTEC Applied Science, this is for AAQ, and it's the next biology video, B2.1B, because I did a 2.1A before. Now, that was about monosaccharides. This is about disaccharides and polysaccharides. So, now the monosaccharides, you know all about them. Glucose, galactose, fructose, ribose, and deoxyribose, they are monosaccharides. Now, if two of them join together, then you get a disaccharide. And the ones that we need to know are lactose, maltose, and sucrose. Then, if lots and lots of them join together, you get a polysaccharide. And that's lots and lots of monosaccharides joined together. And the ones we need to know is starch. And there's two types of starch, amylose and amylopectin, cellulose and glycogen. Okay, so monosaccharides is just one sugar. Disaccharides is two joined together. And then polysaccharides is lots and lots of them, like a polymer. Yes, lots of them. So the first disaccharide, lactose. Now, this is a natural sugar and it's found in milk and in dairy products. And what it is, it's a glucose molecule and a galactose molecule, and they join together. And the bond is called a glycosidic linkage. Yes, a glycosidic linkage. And when they join together, it's called a condensation reaction. If you look at the diagram on the right, can you figure out why? Yeah, and it's because we get this H2O produced, yeah, as you would in condensation. Yeah, you get like water on the bathroom mirror. Okay, so it's a glucose and a galactose joined together, those two OH groups. Now the OH groups on the glucose, it's the number 1, and on the galactose, it's the number 4. And if you look at the glucose, that's a beta glucose. So it's called a beta 1 to 4 glycosidic bond. I'm not sure whether you'd need to go into that kind of depth, but I'm going to say it anyway, just in case, and it won't hurt to learn it. Okay, a beta 1 to 4 glycosidic bond. Yeah, you'd need to know that name. Yeah, and that it's a condensation reaction as well. So that's lactose, and that is our first disaccharide. Next is maltose, and maltose is a glucose and glucose joining together. It's less sweet than glucose or fructose or sucrose. It's important in brewing beer. I'm not going to give you a lesson on how beer is made, but basically you get the grains of barley and you let them germinate, and at some point the starch in the barley is broken down into maltose, and that gives the beer a lot of flavor when that ferments. Okay, so this is glucose and glucose, and you should be able to figure out why it's called an alpha 1 to 4 glycosidic bond. But again, whether you need to know that or not, I'm not sure. But there it is, alpha 1 to 4, glycosidic bond. Sucrose, a sucrose. Now, that's just sugar. That's, you put teaspoons of this in your tea. Yeah. Sucrose is a glucose and a fructose molecule, again joined by a glycosidic bond. This is what we know as table sugar. That's sucrose. Now, the first of our polysaccharides, starch. Very, very important for energy storage for most green plants. Green plants store their energy as starch. And it's very important for humans. It's a staple in our diets, depending on what country you live in, like potatoes or rice or wheat. You know, this is the food that we eat to get energy, starch. Long chains of glucose molecules joined by alpha 1 to 4 glycosidic bonds. So lots and lots of glucose molecules joined together to form a starch molecule. Two types of starch I mentioned. Now the molecule can be linear and tightly packed helical structure, but nevertheless just one chain, and that's called amylose. Don't confuse that with amylase, which is an enzyme. Amylose is this starch molecule. And then you've got amylopectin, which has a branched structure, and that makes it easier to break down, so you get more rapid energy from amylopectin. Cellulose. Now, cellulose, again, is just lots and lots of glucose joined together. But if you look at the diagram, can you see a difference? A difference between the starch and the glucose? Okay, so can you see a difference? I just said that in the structure between the starch and the glucose. Yeah, and it's basically beta 1 to 4 glycosidic bonds. So they're joined together with glycosidic bonds, but in a different way. They are straight chain molecules. There's no branching, there's no coiling. They are long, straight molecules, and each molecule is stiff and rod-like. Okay, and they join together by hydrogen bonding to form microfibrils, which have a high tensile strength. Now, cellulose is a very important component to make cell walls. We know that the cell walls, plants have cell walls, and that gives them structure, and it protects them. It gives them strength as well, because plants don't have skeletons. And so an important factor in that is the cellulose. Yes, and these cellulose microfibrils have high tensile strength, and that creates the cell walls. And there's a picture of some cellulose just for you. And then lastly, glycogen, multi-branched glucose polymer. And there's lots and lots and lots of glucose molecules joined together, up to 30,000 branched glucose units, lots and lots of them. And there's some kind of protein in the middle, which is part of the overall globular molecule. Okay, very important for us as a short-term store of energy. We store it in our liver and we store it in our muscles. And if you go for a run, this is what your body uses. It uses the glycogen stored in your muscles and stored in your liver. So here's a load of questions. And I'm not going to tell you the answers because all the answers are in the videos. So you should be able to do them if you watch the video, theoretically.